guys. So today's question is, given two strings, you have to find the longest common subsequence of them. Okay, so first let's understand what is a subsequence. So consider any string, say this is string. So subsequence is a set of characters in this string taken in the same order as in the string. Okay, so you can pick up any characters you want in the same order. So it's not necessary that they have to be continuous. They can be continuous or they might not be continuous, right? So pick up any characters of any length. Say CDB is one subsequence, DAB is also subsequence, EAB is also subsequence, CDA is also subsequence. So all of these are subsequences, okay? But remember, it has to be in the same order. For example, ABC is not a subsequence. DE is not a subsequence, okay? It can be of any length. So here I have taken up length of 3. Similarly, it can be CD, AB is also a subsequence, okay? So you have to find common subsequence of these strings. So what are the common subsequences of these two strings if we see? So CE is one common subsequence, right? Similarly, AB is one common subsequence, CE, AB, okay? Then CED is one common subsequence, okay? So like this, you have to return the longest common subsequence. Like in this case, the longest common subsequence will be ACE, right? ACE. So the question can be to either find the length of the longest common subsequence or to return the longest common subsequence itself. We should be able to cater to both the problems. So what is the first brute solution that comes to our mind? To just take all the subsequences of one string and see whether it is there in the second string or not, and just return the longest one, right? But let's analyze the efficiency of this approach. So first let's see how many subsequences will be possible for one string. So if the length of the string is n, that is there are n characters, how will we find all the subsequences? So for each of the characters in this string, there are two possibilities. Either to take that character or not take that character, okay? So there are two possibilities for each of the n strings, right? So 2 power n possibilities, either take the character or do not take the character. So 2 power n subsequences are possible for the string of length n, right? Now we will have to check in the other string whether these subsequences are there or not. So our brute force approach will be order of n into 2 power n, right? So this is an exponential approach. So it is not at all efficient. So I'll be using this example to come up with our approach, okay? So let's see this string properly. Suppose if the strings were made up of only one characters, okay? If our strings were only A and A, what would be the longest common subsequence? Since there are only one characters and the characters are same, it is obvious the answer will be A in this case, right? Now if we take the second characters, right? Second characters are C and C. Now this is also same characters. So we will add C to it. It will contribute to our answer, right? Now, when we take D and E, okay? Now we don't know whether these will contribute to our answer or not because they are not same, right? So one by one we will check and see whether D will contribute or E will contribute. It is for sure that both of them cannot contribute together, right? Because they are not same, right? So if D has to contribute, then we will check this. So basically we can convert finding LCS. LCS means longest common subsequence. So this question is commonly known as LCS question. Okay. So to find LCS of these two, we can divide it into sub-problems. If we had D and we do not consider E, one is this. What will be the LCS of this? That will be AC only. Another is if we have to check whether E will contribute to the answer. That will be AC and ACE. Okay, so we are not considering D in this case, we are considering E. In this case, we are considering D, we are not considering E. In this case also it is AC only. So we know neither D nor E is contributing to our answer. Okay, it will be clearer when we come to the next elements. Now we take E and F. Okay. Now let us check whether this E or F will contribute to our answers. Now if I check whether this E will contribute. So ACDE and ACE, So I am not taking this F and just checking whether this E will contribute or not. So yeah, it can contribute because LCS of these two will be ACE, yeah, which is longer than the answer that we have. Then yeah, this can contribute. So ACE is one particular solution possible. Then we see here this F can contribute. So for that we will say, take the sub-problem ACD and ACEF. Can this contribute? No. In this case, LCS will be AC only. But when E was contributing, the LCS was ACE. So this is longer. So this will be a solution. So what is the general approach that we got? If we take a character by character, if we are building up a string character by character, if the characters are same for both the strings, that will obviously contribute to our answer. So we will add it. Okay. So our length will increase by 1. But if the characters are not same, then we will check if any of them can contribute to the answer, right? And whichever can contribute, so whichever returns the maximum answer, either taking the element from this one or this one, that will be our answer, because what is the main aim? To find the longest answer possible, right? So we'll just take the maximum value possible by either considering the upper value or the lower value, any of the strings. We just want the longest answer. So this is the answer over here. So let me write all the sub-problems that we will have to solve this. So we have to find LCS of ACDE and ACEF, right? So this you can divide into two sub-problems. That is, if we do not include E, it will be ACD, ACEF. Okay. If we do not include F, it will be ACD and ACDE and ACE, right? Now here again we can either take D or not take D. So it will be AC, ACEF. If we take this D and not take this F, it will be ACD, ACE. Okay. Here again, if we do not take this E, it will be ACD, ACE. If we do not take this C, it will be ACDE and AC. So similarly, you can keep dividing this to many sub-problems, right? So what we are getting from this picture is, if we have the sub-problems, okay, if we have the answers to our sub-problems, we can just find the maximum of these two and return here. We can just find the maximum of these two and return here. Finally, we can find the maximum of these two and return here. So this forms a recursive tree. So yeah, we can use the recursive approach. But also notice that there will be few common elements. The more you write a tree, the more common elements you will be able to see. Here you can see finding the LCS of ACD and ACE happened twice. And we are just in the second step of our tree. If we go down, we will find more and more same sub-problems coming up, right? So what do we do when same sub-problems keep coming up in recursion? There are two approaches, right? We can either memorize these answers. That means we will save the answers in a table and we won't have to keep recalculating the answers for these values. So we will just store the answers somewhere and then we will know that okay, we have the answers and we will reuse them. So that is called memorization or tabulation. Another approach is, we know that this will break into a lot of sub-problems, but in the end we will have to find answers for all the combinations possible for these two strings, right? So why not just find all the answers and do it bottom-up approach, how we did it initially. What do I mean by bottom-up? That means I include strings one by one, the characters one by one. So let me show you what I mean by that. So as you can see, I have taken a grid over here to store all the sub-problems possible for these two strings, okay? So it's a 2D matrix. What does this denote, okay? So consider this particular box. What does this box mean? This box means we are considering the sub-problem ACE and ACD, okay? What does this box mean? It means we are considering the sub-problems of strings AC and A. What does this box mean? It means we are considering the sub-problems A and ACD. So finally our answer will be given by this box, which will be ACEF and ACDE. So for this example, our number of rows and columns came out to be equal because the lengths of the strings were equal over here. But the number of rows and columns will depend upon the lengths of the strings. It might be equal but might not be equal. depending upon the example that we're dealing with. Okay, so if you notice, I have added an extra row and extra column over here. Why is that? Because I want to write a general solution, and I will be writing my initial cases over here even when the strings are empty. So this denotes that this string is empty, and this column denotes that this string is empty. Okay, so there are no characters in this string. So we are going to try to come up with a general solution that can be used for all the values. It will be clearer when we solve it. Okay, so do not worry. So what does this box denote? That means both the strings are empty. So what will be the longest common subsequence? It will be of length 0. It is blank. Similarly, if any one string is empty only, right? So if one string is empty, it means the common subsequence will be of length 0 only, right? So all my initial values become 0. This is a mistake that a lot of people do. They do not understand the initial conditions of dynamic programming, but this is very obvious that here a string is empty, so longest common subsequence length will be of 0. Okay. So now let's start with our first box. What does this denote? That our strings are A and A. So we are starting with a subproblem A and A. If you remember, this is how we started understanding our example as well. Okay. So if these two alphabets are equal, obviously we will include this in our answer, right? So if we are including this in our answer, the length will increase by 1, right? Compared to what? So initial length was 0. Obviously initial answer is 0 only. So that is this. Now we are adding this value, right? So we are adding this string. So the length of the subproblem over here becomes 1, which is actually adding to this. So this denoted when both the strings were empty. Then you added A to both the strings, and now your length became 1. Okay. Now let's add this C, okay, to the first string. So we add C. Now since C and A are not equal, these two are not equal, we will try to include both of them and see which returns the maximum answer, right? What did we do? We divided this into subproblems. So AC and A, we have to find LCS of that. So if we exclude this, what will be AA? AA will be, answer will be given by this box, right? So this is one subproblem for this. Another subproblem is if we do not include this A, that will be AC and empty string, right? AC and empty string is denoted by this. So maximum of these two subproblems will be our answer for this subproblem, which is 1. Make sense? What will be the answer for A and AC? That will be 1 only, right? Okay, now let's go to the next box and see. So we are including D now, right? If we include D, we know again this D and A are not equal. Again we have to check whether this D or A can contribute to our answer. So for this, we will check what will be the subproblems now. It will be ACA excluding this D. And if we exclude this A, it will be ACD and empty. Okay, so ACA is this, right? ACD and empty is this. So here again we are getting the maximum value from these two subproblems. That is maximum of this and this. That is 1. So now you can see we are using the subproblems that we already have, right? So here again you will notice one more pattern. What is happening for both these values? What did we do? We saw the values on top and on the left, right? So the value on top and left, and we got the maximum of those two values. So let's try to write the general formula from whatever we have understood till now and see if it applies for rest of the grid as well. Okay, so I'm going to write a general formula. So what are the cases? One case is when these two characters may be equal. So if we are using input, if this is our input 1 and this is our input 2, we are using variable I to traverse this and variable j to traverse our columns. Okay, so one case is if input 1 of I is equal to input 2 of j, right? If these two characters are equal, what are we doing? We are getting the value from diagonally opposite. Okay, so if the matrix is denoted by M, then M of Ij will be equal to m of I minus 1 j minus 1 plus 1. What does this actually mean? Okay, so if these two characters are equal, then we obviously are going to include this, right? We are going to include this to our answer. So our length will increase by 1. But the length will increase to what? So excluding these two, what was the value that we had? So that will be denoted by I minus 1. You go one row up and you go one column down. Okay, one column to left. So it will be matrix of I minus 1, j minus 1. That is diagonally top value plus 1. Okay, this is if our input characters are same. If the input characters are not same, then our answer will be max of two values, right? The left value and the top value. The left value is nothing but I j minus 1 and the top value is nothing but m I minus 1 j. So these are the cases that we were considering. What was it? That since the characters are not equal, we are dividing it into sub-problems and either including the character from the one string or character from another string, right? So we are taking the maximum of those two and we are getting the answer. Now let's form a grid using this formula and check whether it works or not. Okay. So now for this box, this A and E is not equal. So we are here. So maximum of these two values will be 1 and 0, right? It will be 1. Now we will check AC, D, E and A. What is the maximum length possible? That is 1 only, right? So now let's come to this box. Again, A and C are not equal. So the answer for this box will be maximum of these two, which is 1. Let's check whether that works or not. So maximum of AC, maximum of A and AC will be what? Length will be 1 only because the LCS will be A, right? Again, here C and C are equal now. Now we have come to this case, right? When the characters are same. So now excluding these characters, so we are considering AC and AC. So we know that we are going to include this C in our answer, okay? Now we exclude this C and check what was the longest common subsequence without this C. That will be denoted by AA, that is 1. So now we will include 1 to our answer this and that will be 1 plus 1, 2. Okay. Obviously the longest common subsequence over here is 2. So this formula worked, correct. Again this C and D is not equal. So maximum of these two, which is 2. What is the LCS for AC, D and AC? It is AC. So length 2 works, correct. So now again C and E are not equal. What is the maximum of these two values? 2. Over here again A and E is not equal. What is the maximum of these two values? 1. C and E are not equal. What is the maximum of these two values? Again 2. D and E are not equal. What is the maximum of these two values? 2. Now E and E are equal. Again we came to this condition. So now it will be 2 plus 1, 3. So to understand this 3, what is actually happening is, if we do not take this E and E, okay, then AC, D and AC, if we consider this a problem, the answer was of length 2, which is AC. Now since these two characters are equal, we will include it. So 2 plus 1, 3. Okay. Now again here F and A are not equal, so max of these two 1. F and C are not equal, max of these two again 2. Not equal, max of these two 2. Not equal, max of these two 3. Right? So our final answer is length 3. Yeah. So our answer of this was ACE, right? This is of length 3. So this is our final formula and it works. Now if someone asks you what is the longest common subsequence and not just the length, okay, so how are we going to find that? So we start from here, our final solution, and we traverse back our grid and see. So we are back tracing our answer now, okay. So we know that these two were not equal, so our answer came from here. Now since these two were equal, our answer actually came from here, so our E should be an answer. Now this 2 is coming from where? It's coming from here because these two are not equal, so that is not an answer. This 2 is coming from here because these two are equal, so now C will come in our answer. Now again this is coming from here, so because these two are equal, so A is coming in our answer. So whenever it is equal, we were going diagonally, so we just keep including those characters and that will be our final answer. I recommend you to try this with a lot of examples and check it will work for any of the examples. Let's analyze the efficiency of our answer. So this size will be, the grid size will be mn, where m will be the length of one string, n will be the length of another string, right? So space complexity is O of mn, the time complexity is also O of mn. So where m is length of one string and n is length of another string. So as you can see, we have increased our efficiency from exponential to order of mn, which is a very good solution, right? So this solution is nothing but dynamic programming. So what we are doing over here is we are taking the sub-problems and finally finding our answer. Now, since this is a good enough answer, this will mostly get you through most of your coding interviews and competitions. But there is a very good optimization still possible, okay? So for that, I need you to notice something. So for each of the answers, to the boxes, what all values are we needing? We are either taking the values from the top box or from the left box or from the top left box, right? For each of the box, we are using only 3 values at max to find our answer, right? So for finding this box, we could have used either this or these two. For finding this, we could have used this or this. Finding this, we could have used this or these two. So whenever we are at one particular row, say when we are at this row, we will never need any of the answers above this row, because for this one you will need these two and this. For this one you will need this two and this. For this one you will need this two or this. For this one you will need these two or this, right? So why are we storing the entire grid over here? Why don't we do this optimization and store only 2 rows instead of storing the entire grid? Right now our strings are of length 4 and 4. Imagine if the string lengths are really huge. Okay, imagine if the strings are of length 16 and 24. Okay, so suppose we take 16 string over here and 24 over here. Now imagine we are taking so much space. Meant for finding the final answer, we are using just one row up. We are not using the entire grid. Okay, so for this particular question, I am going to do the space optimization and show you, and it will be more clearer when we take the example. As you can see, I have reduced my entire grid to just 2 rows. So this is one string and the other string I have written in the columns. Okay, so I am going to be using I variable to traverse this and j variable to traverse the columns. Okay, so I am going to be starting with my previous to be of length 0, which is my empty string, right? So now when I am at A, right, now this A and A is equal, so I am going to be using the same formula, nothing changes. I compare this input 1 and input 2. Since these two values are same, my value comes from diagonal. So 0 plus 1, 1. Now A and C are not equal, so value over here comes from maximum of these two, which is 1. Now again A and D are not same, so value over here comes from maximum of these two, which is 1. Okay. So again A and E are not same, so value over here comes from maximum of these two, which is 1. So now we have found our answer for first row. Okay. Now when we have to find our answer for second row, for the next row, what we are going to do now? Now we are going to use this as our previous, and now we are going to find the present one. Okay. So we update our previous to 1, 1, 1, 1, and we have to find these values. Note that this will always be 0 because this means that this string is blank. Okay. Now again over here, now we will be comparing with C. C and A are not same, which is 1. Here C and C are same, so we are going to take the value from here, which is 1 plus 1, 2. Here C and D is not same, so we are going to take maximum of these two, which is 2. C and E are not same, so maximum of these two, which is 2. Okay, please note that when you formed the grid, these were the same rows that you were getting, right? We are getting the same answers only, but now we are using much lesser space than what we were using earlier. Okay, so now we update our previous to present, and now we will be calculating our present again. So I update this to, and we have to find these values. Now let's go to our next row, which will be for E. Okay, so now we will be comparing to E. E and A are not same, so value over here will be max of these two, which is 1. E and C is not same, so value over here will be max of these two, which is 2. E and D are not same, so value over here will be max of these two, which is 2. Value is same, E and E is same, so value over here will come from here plus 1, which will be 3. Okay, so now we'll be going to our last row. So for that we will again update our previous. So this is 1, 2, 2. We have to only update this, and we empty this. Okay. Now last row will be for F. F and A is not same, so we are going to take maximum of these two values, which is 1. F and C is not same, so maximum of these two 2. F and D is not same, maximum of these two 2. F and E is not same, so maximum of these two 3. This is our final answer. So this is same as what we got from the previous solution. So as you can see, we have saved so much space over here. Now our space complexity is reduced to O of n, where n is the length of the smallest string. So whichever is the smallest string, you will keep that over here, and the largest string you can keep over here, so you will end up using lesser space. Okay, so now we have reduced our complexity from O of mn to O of n. N is the length of the smallest string. Our time complexity still remains to be O of mn, because we are still finding all the sub-problems, right? So I hope you understood the question. Please leave comments below, and please do like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.